Welcome everybody to the Totally Online Gaming Group D&D 5th Edition live stream of our campaign, The Blackest Heart. We're glad you guys could join us and hope you're here to have a really fun time. I know all of us are. Before we begin, just need to put out a few announcements. As always, our first announcement, give a shout out to our sponsor, Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. Uh, they are a great gaming supply company where you can get some really cool dice bags, dice trays, miniatures, all sorts of cool stuff. You can see them at conventions, and
Ooh.
thank you, Oak, for the visual there. Uh, they actually go to some conventions around the southeast. So if you happen to be at a convention, you can stop by their booth and check them out there. Or you can go to their website, www.criticalhitgamingsupplies.com, and that's all one word. And be sure to use the TOGG15, TOGG15 code at checkout, and you'll get 15% off your purchases. So go ahead and give them a look. I also want to give a shout out to the Spock Nation and Team Spock, and anyone who is part of Team Spock and is watching right now. A special shout out to you guys. We wouldn't have hit affiliate without your love and support that you guys have been showing us and spreading the word for us, and we really appreciate that. So thank you so much to all of you. And for all of you who are wondering what the heck Spock Nation is all about, it is a great channel hosted by a streamer named Spock, and it is a very inclusive community that brings together all sorts of newer streamers and older streamers alike, but from smaller channels. And you get to meet new people. You get to see people playing in different games, and I guarantee you're going to find somebody playing games that you're interested if you go there and start taking a look at everyone who's on there, typing in the chat, and you're going to find a lot of cool things to watch. So give them a look. Also, want to give a shout out to the Aaron Discord server. It's a really great Discord server that is heavily into TTRPG, specifically D&D, and they have great discussions. Lots and lots of people there who have a passion for D&D, and you can get in talking with them about all aspects of D&D or other TTRPGs, as well as get involved in games, things play by post, or perhaps even find some that are local through their server. So give them a look. So, a couple other things need to do for announcements. So, first off, we do have Rhea here. Her video feed is just not working right now, so she is here though. However, uh, we currently will be without Galdor. Unfortunately, he's not able to make it tonight due to some work issues. But hopefully we'll be seeing him again soon once all that is dealt with. So we have the majority of our party here. Also want to put out some additional news. I have mentioned before when we made affiliate that we are going to celebrate that with some giveaways. That is something that is fast approaching. The order for that stuff has been put in, and we are just waiting to receive it. And once we do, we will be doing some giveaways. We will be doing one each week for 4 weeks. Well, one each week for 3 weeks. And that fourth week, we will actually have 2 giveaways on that night. So be sure to tune in to those. We will let you know when that starts before it gets there. So you have plenty of time to make sure that you tune into the stream on the appropriate nights so you can get your shot at some pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's see what else. Oh, another cool thing. Yes, it's a thing. Uh, I have been involved in the Kickstarter for a thing called Tailspire. And if none of you know what Tailspire is, you will eventually, because at the end of March, yep, that's this month, Tailspire will be releasing its beta. And after I've done some testing of my own, we will actually be switching from Roll20 to Tailspire. Unbeknownst to my players, this is probably the first they're hearing of it as well. Go ahead and take a look at it online. Just go into YouTube, type in Tailspire, Talespire, and take a look. It's basically another platform for playing role-playing games on, like Roll20 is. However, it looks a heck of a lot more like being immersed in a video game because you actually have 3D terrain, 3D miniatures. You can use your mouse and throw your dice across the board to roll them. It's pretty cool, and we're going to be experimenting with that a little bit and
Oh god.
possibly switching over to that. So, but it'll be fun. It'll
I
be
hope my
fun.
laptop can support
I'm sure it
that.
can. I'm sure it can. It's most of it will all be running off of my machine. So,
You have more faith in my laptop than I do.
don't worry. But yep, that's a thing that's going to happen. Another thing that is going to happen is coming up in the future. Uh, Another podcast that deals with role playing and role playing games called Top Tabling. I have been invited to go on their stream with them, along with some other DMs, for basically answering questions about campaign creation and how tips for new DMs and things like that. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be a fun thing to do. Not sure the date yet. We have not got that scheduled, but that will be coming up, and I'll be sure to keep you guys informed in case you want to tune in and watch that. And then, last but not least, we are slowly approaching the kind of the convention season in Florida. A lot of conventions are happening in the springtime. Uh, so there will be some things that I will put up on the stream. I may actually stream directly from some of the conventions, just in case you guys are interested in seeing the cool and fun things that are going on at some of our conventions like MegaCon and stuff like that down in Orlando, so that you guys can take a look at those things as well. And I think that's pretty much it, unless anybody has anything else. No? Okay. Well, in that case, without further ado, we bring you The Blackest Heart. Okay, we are back. So, where we last left off was actually from our two-part one-shot. Now, that in itself was a very interesting adventure, and it did involve our characters from this campaign. However, it was a one-shot, and had any of the characters perished during that, they would not have died, and would have popped back out of the book exactly where they were. So you can kind of consider that separate from everything that is currently happening. More like an odd dream that was shared between all the players. Okay. Now,
When dreams destroy friendships.
yes. Oh, that is one more thing I did not mention during the announcements. Unfortunately, I found this out late that for some reason during last week's stream of the second half of the one shot, my computer stopped streaming, but it was still indicating that it was streaming about 2 hours into the stream. So a good hour or an hour and a half or so of the stream was missed. It did not get
So
recorded, so it
after
is
I
not.
dipped.
Yes, yes. So it did not get recorded. I did hear tell from one of my other streaming friends that they were still watching it, but they couldn't interact in the chat. So I don't know exactly what was going on there. However, I will be paying a little bit closer attention on my phone, which I've got tuned into the stream, to see if it kind of cuts out or hasn't, because it did indicate something weird going on, and I didn't take note, but I will be paying more attention to that just in case. And if that happens, I'll just kind of give a refresh to restart the actual streaming so that we can record the rest. Hopefully that won't happen. Uh, but, okay, going back from that now. So where you really left off is all of you had been standing on deck at night uh, where Galder was holding a book. And then all of a sudden he disappeared, and then all of you vanished into the book following him. And you reappeared on the deck of the ship. And Ray, I can't remember, did you say exactly how they reappeared? I don't know, you might be muted, Rhea.
They kind of just would have opened their eyes and looked back on the ship.
Okay.
They wouldn't know.
Okay, so a little bit open to interpretation. So that's perfect. So basically, you appear back on the ship, and it is still that same night, as far as you can tell. The only thing that has changed is you open your eyes and you're all laying down on the deck of the ship, and you see the stars above. And to
And Oak
catch
is
everyone up,
severely wounded.
yep. And to, well, no, you are all at full health. All of that may have
Oh,
been
we
a
are
dream.
cool.
May have been a dream. You're not sure. However, uh, when you
So
look,
I can reset my hit points.
yes, everyone, go ahead and
Here's the thing.
give yourself the effects of a long rest. Your hit
Thank
points and
God.
everything are reset. But to refresh anyone who's been watching and trying to catch up with everything that's gone on, the party is basically left from Ailshore uh, to on a ship that they have hired that is captained by Captain Jackson Eagle, a very flamboyant dwarf captain, and they are heading
Why is the
towards
rum gone?
Oceanica. And you were going to say something there, Diana.
Why is the rum gone?
Why is the rum gone? uh, but Oak, you would notice that, strangely enough, maybe it wasn't a dream, because there is a very ornate axe laying next to you.
Aha! Yeah, if Diana sees the axe, she's walking as far away from them as possible as she can get without having to go overboard.
Well, it is not a very large ship, I will tell you that. Uh, so, as you go across the deck of the ship, and in fact, let me do this real quick. Do
Can't stop yawning!
and voila.
Be in an ocean. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, you should be able to see a ship, and I will move you to your location on said ship, or I'll move the screen to the location of the ship so that everyone can see.
Yo.
Oh yeah, Oak is basically just lying on the deck because he's got motion sickness and he can't do anything. He is non-functional.
He is very much incapacitated at this point in time. Yes.
Oh yeah. So he's useless.
Okay.
Yes, so there you are on the ship. It is not the largest of ships, but it's a decent size. And it has, you can see, standing at the helm of the ship, near the stern, is Captain Jackson Eagle. You guys can kind of see him right there, if you see that ping. And he has several men scurrying to and fro on the ship, uh, working the lines, some swabbing the deck, things like that. Excuse me. So that is, where everyone is. And as the ship continues to sail, you notice that it's quite busy for being night, but when you look around, you notice that the sky is starting to lighten to the east in the horizon, as if the sun were soon to be rising. You see the oranges and purples and everything of the sky as it's changing color and the sun begins to come up, and you figure that must have been passed out here on the deck all night. And everyone's up on deck because, well, the morning's about to arrive.
All right. Uh, Jacob's gonna go to where Diana went.
Mm-hmm.
She stormed off too.
All right, and where did you head to, Diana? Did you
As
just
far
stay
away from all of them as possible.
Okay. You
I
have
don't know
control of
where that is.
Yeah, you have control of your character, so you can move it if you want to stay on the top deck. If not, we can assume you went below deck somewhere.
That works. She just wants to get as far away from all the others as possible. Although she would not enjoy the cramped space, so she would probably stay on the upper deck.
Okay.
She's afraid of water, so
All of your characters are afraid of water.
yeah, because it's a rational fear for myself. I'm sorry. If I can't see the bottom of something, I don't want to be near it.
Okay.
Because of very horrible pranks my brother pulled on me as a kid. Like, it's just
Okay,
leave
that's
it at
fair.
that.
That is fair. That's fair.
All right. Is there anything anyone would like to do this morning?
Oak would like to moan and groan and throw up slightly on the ship.
Okay.
They haven't given you a bucket.
Why? Why mess up a perfectly good
Well, no,
bucket?
I'd like to assume that someone's just like standing next to Oak. I'd like to assume that someone's
just
standing near
cleaning
Oak and just kind of just mopping up like whenever he throws up, and he's just
It's tired.
whenever he throws up or drools or something, it's just like doot, 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 and cleans it. And
Yeah, you got this guy right here, who's who seems to be um, a little bit annoyed with having to continue to mop the same spot every couple minutes over and over again. But he's not saying anything. He's just kind of, he just looks a little grumpy for it. But at one point, he does kind of lean over to you, kind of rubs the center of your back a little bit, pats it, and then says, "Don't worry. You'll get used to it. It doesn't take too long." And then he
More
re- he
Russian.
he reaches no, not Russian, just he reaches over
a bad
to
accent.
to the side of the ship where there's a rope that's attached to the side. Brings it over and he wraps it around your waist and ties it off and starts to try to guide you to the rail and saying, "If you wouldn't mind, over the rail, please,
Yeah,
so I don't have
Oak
to mop
will
the same
just
spot."
Oak will just try to get up as best he can and just kind of flop on the railing and just kind of dangle there for a while.
All
Well, for
right.
the rest of the trip.
and he's tied you off just in case, just to make sure. But he kind of smiles and nods in appreciation, and it says, there, it'll be okay," and then goes back to mopping the rest of the deck. Jacob or Rhea, anything either of you two would like to do?
The other thing Jacob would do is just head to wherever Diana managed to move herself.
Went to go have a hissy fit.
And as I said, it's really up to you. I mean, if you're trying to get away from people in general, there are several people on deck. Excuse me, on deck of the crew that are
Okay,
moving
then,
here
then
about.
let me specify. She's trying to get away from her party members.
Okay. I would say based on where
Specifically,
everyone's at, based on where everyone's at,
No, kind of everybody except Jacob.
then I would say either the bow of the ship or all the way back at the stern. The bow is technically furthest away from all of your party members, so you could the front end of the ship.
I don't know ship talk.
Front of the
Yes,
ship.
front.
Over here.
Bow is
Yes.
the front, stern is the back.
Okay.
So you can just move yourself up that way, and don't worry about that's just how the squares line up. But you're not overboard, so don't worry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me not crush the other sailor.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, she'd probably just sit on the ground with her back against the actual point of the railing.
Okay. Okay, you sure
And just
right up there you don't want to do the "I'm the king of the world"?
No.
I mean, you and Jacob are both.
No.
Nope.
Denial.
Denial.
Would it become such a big? Actually, you know what? Hrim's gonna go out.
What if he gets eaten
Uh-oh.
by a shark?
Jacob froze for a second there.
I guarantee you, he said he's gonna send him out to survey the fucking waters.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm positive that's what he's doing too. It's just his connection froze. It even says recovering lost connection. So hopefully he will be back momentarily. While we're waiting on him, Rhea, anything you would like to do?
Rhea's gonna be playing with Nightmare and training him to get that dagger in his mouth again.
Okay. Yeah,
He
go
will
ahead and
become
make your
that-
rolls.
Hello,
Ninja
sorry,
dog.
give me a second.
Go ahead
Okay,
and make your rolls,
so,
Rhea, and then we'll go back to Jacob. All right. Okay, Jacob. So while Rhea's making her rolls, wow, she's doing good too. Almost.
Never mind.
So
Um,
we're back to you, Jacob. You were gonna send Hrim.
Okay. So Hrim, if there's like a little point in the front of the bell, like the one little one that goes all the way out to the front.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I'm
well,
trying
you
to
can.
remember.
He could perch on the masthead.
Yes, that's the word I was thinking about.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, he's going to go perch there, and then Jacob is just going to slump down to the ground as well, and just, well, that happened.
I hate everyone.
Yeah, I understand why.
I'm half tempted to throw that stupid axe overboard.
I wouldn't. I understand that
I
you're
said
upset.
half tempted, not that I was going to.
Fair enough.
Well, while you guys.
Well,
My dog is laying on the ground in front of the door whining because Nick left and he won't stop.
Aw,
Oh, poor puppy.
we all understand.
throw him a treat.
Yeah, he will get fat. He gets so many treats as is because we're training him.
All right, fair enough. All right, so while you guys
But
are
he's a
there,
good boy.
He is a good boy.
So while you guys are there hanging out the front of the ship, and Oak is hanging at the side, and Rhea is training Nightmare, Galdor is up talking with Captain Jackson Eagle. And now every once in a while you can hear a boisterous laugh come from the captain, and then he uh, goes back to talking with Galdor. And I need you to make a perception check, Jacob.
Cleo. Go. Yeah, 11.
Okay.
Good job.
As Hrim is perched upon the masthead, you notice in the distance, he happens to be kind of scanning around, and you notice in the distance, off to the east, which is the general direction of your travels, that there seems to be clouds rolling in, slowly but
Okay.
surely from the horizon.
Can we please
All right.
tell the captain?
There's a fight. Oak is gonna be useless.
Jacob's just gonna. I know you feel bad. I need to go talk to the captain. I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave him with you if that's all right.
Can you tell me why?
Storm, maybe. We'll
Oh,
we'll find out.
this is why I don't like boats.
Yeah, bye. And Prim is just gonna land on Diana's lap, and he's just gonna make a walk.
She's just gonna look down at her and going, at least you can't betray people.
Prim's
At
just
least
gonna.
you're not an asshole. I don't know.
Prim's just gonna.
Just kind of owl shrug.
I just realized I never shared this adorable picture that I found in the actual chat.
Well, then now you got to share it.
I know, I'm trying to find it because it's of Prim.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But then you definitely need to share it.
I'm currently drawing Oak with motion sickness hanging up around like
It's gonna be going to the Discord though, because I don't think pasting a link in the actual Roll20.
That's fine. You guys can also check out our Discord by following the link to the picture of Hrim.
Woo!
Alright, so... oh,
haha.
there it is. I'm going to have to check that out in a little bit myself. Alright, so... what exactly are you
love you.
doing, Jacob?
Oh.
So Jacob is just gonna. Well, kind of give a small pat on
Sassy
Oak
Rip.
as he passes by, just like he's okay, you're doing fine, and just going to continue up to the captain, understanding that it's going to be a lot worse if no one knows.
Alright.
Oh, sorry, you're in the middle of conversation with Gal. Hi, Gal. Anyways, there's clouds in the direction we're heading. Potentially,
Great bit of break.
I'm not sure.
He kind of leans a little bit to the left and looks around past the main mast of the ship and says, Trevor! Why the bloody hell didn't you say something? And some guy who's actually the one who on the ship looks like they're currently standing right next to Rhea. He's actually up in the crow's nest. And you hear a huh? As all of a sudden a sailor who was obviously asleep stands up and leans out over the railing of the crow's nest and goes, sorry, Captain. Storm on the horizon. Sorry.
We're all going to die.
Sorry.
It's died down.
And
Well, that's not a good thing. Hold up.
and the captain, all of a sudden, he says, "Here, hold this," and kind of grabs your hand, Jacob, and puts it on the wheel. Says,
Okay.
don't let it move.
You're asking a blind man to drive.
Yep.
Okay.
And he
Uh,
moves all the way up to the bow of the ship, pulls out a spyglass, and begins to look towards the horizon. And Diana, being you're right next to him, you start to hear him muttering up a storm. Uh,
About a
yes,
storm.
no pun intended there. But he's muttering up a storm. He's like, oh, fuck. It's,
Why do I not like
batten down the
hearing
hatches,
words,
boys.
"Oh, fuck" coming out of your mouth?
Uh, d- don't worry. Just stay below decks. It probably not best if you are up and about, but
Don't we
we've
have a
weathered
better chance
worse.
of drowning down there?
Only if the ship sinks. You've got
Oh,
more of a
that's
chance of
reassuring.
being washed over the side if you're up on deck.
Why do I feel like we're going to die?
Like kind of X at Diana and like look towards the wheel, and Jacob's just
What? And without thinking, she's gonna yell, "Why are you having the blind man drive?"
Ah, he's a natural. Don't worry.
He's a natural.
You realize he's
And then
blind, yes?
he moves back away and he gives you a wink as he's walking away and says, "Don't worry, my dear. Just recommend you get below decks soon."
Because that's reassuring.
And he runs all the way back to the stern, takes the wheel out of your hands, Jacob,
oh, okay, thank God.
and he begins shouting orders.
Oh,
Trevor, get down from there. Lucius, quick, tie
Yeah.
everything down now. And it just back and forth.
Okay, one of these people is my brother, and the other one is a Harry Potter character. Can you guess which one is which?
I'm sorry, but when I heard Trevor, the first thing that popped in my head was I'm Trevor fucking Belmont. So
No, I
no.
just heard my brother, and I was like,
No, he looks
mm.
nothing like Trevor Belmont. Or,
Does he look sort of
or
like me?
no. Or Alucard, or any of them from the. Have you guys watched that? By the way, that is awesome.
oh yeah.
That
I-
much.
Oh yeah,
I
I've
was
seen
so angry with season 3, okay?
Yes.
I haven't
Still
seen season
emotionally
3.
scarred.
No spoilers. No spoilers. I haven't seen season 2.
You need
Well, hurry up. Hurry up. All right. Sorry.
Okay.
I cried.
All right.
A
So
lot.
back to the game. Sorry. Uh, but
Pennsylvania is more
ev-
important.
yes,
It is!
everyone starts running around. All the deckhands start running around, moving things against the rails, tying them down, clearing things off the deck and taking them down below decks. And there, a couple of them, including Lucius, who you see is the one all the way up here near you, Diana. And he is the first mate, and he begins as he's running away from where you're at. He says, "Quick, lass, below decks now!"
I don't want to die.
And then
Someone might want to go grab Oak.
and
He can't move.
Yeah, he actually runs over to Oak and says, "Peter, help me now!" And grabs the one that was next to you, Oak. They untie you, and draping your arms one over each of their shoulders, begin to carry you below decks. As they are continuing, the captain, you hear him. He's shouting orders left and right. He points to Galdor and says, "Take the rest of your friends below." And Galdor, looks over at Jacob and says, We should probably go.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's.
So,
Yeah. Just starts walking.
Diana chose the wrong time to have irrational fear of philosophical thoughts. Because she's just kind of sitting there going, I'm going to die. I'm going to drown. And I don't know how to swim.
well, everyone knows
I'm
how to
going to die.
swim-ish.
She doesn't know how to swim.
Just
You
fox paddle.
Flail.
Fox paddle.
Flail.
So, what do you guys do? You do.
Ray's gonna continue to sit on top of the deck and just kind of watch
Okay.
until
And-
it gets bad.
And you would notice that the clouds are. This seems to be rolling in pretty quickly, as all the activity has been going on deck. Even though they've been kind of rushing you, it's been about a good 15-20 minutes of furious activity before they even get before Lucius and Peter even get to Oak and untie him from the lifeline and start to carry him below, because everyone is running around doing things aboard the ship. And as that 20 minutes have passed, you've already seen that it looks like the distance that the clouds have traveled has been from the horizon to maybe half the distance that it was from the ship. I mean, everything seems to be moving in quickly, and you can see it's, what was a beautiful sunrise quickly has started to get dark.
So, noticing all of this, Diana's going to quickly go into her fox form and just kind of scurry over to Jacob and probably hide in his robes. Like,
Oh, God.
yeah, like up, down, hide.
This out. She's in my clothes, Galda. I don't.
Like, she's resting, like, right here on your chest on the inside.
Well,
I don't
I
think
Oh
guess-
man, just to say, finally.
Finally. Not
just
the way
take
you were
him-
probably hoping she'd get in his robe.
Oh boy.
As my fiance just shakes his head in disappointment next to me.
Understandable.
Also, real quick, out to chat. If anyone who is listening in chat could please let us know, since I had some trouble with audio volume the last stream a little bit. My audio was really quiet, and everyone else was okay, but not the greatest. Please, in chat, let me know if our volumes are okay, so everyone can hear each one of us as we speak. That way, if necessary, I can make some adjustments. All right. Anyway, so as you are hiding in his robes, and Oak is being carried below decks, and Galder is also going forth, he actually moves over towards Rhea and says, "You should really get below. This doesn't look good."
I know it's gonna be so fun.
Okay.
All right.
Diana just hopes that if they go down, Jacob knows how to swim because she's kind of relying on his clothing and or body mass to keep her alive.
See, if Oak gets thrown into the water, he'll be fine. It's just that the ship is making him, like, just dead. The moment he is off
Hey,
the ship,
quick question.
he will be fine.
Because of how good of a hunter snow owls are, while she's in her fox form, couldn't Hrim technically grab her by her scruff and just carry her?
Well, that depends. Is Hrim fully grown, or is he more of a baby there, Jacob?
Well, he has kids
Um,
himself, so I would think fully grown.
He's pretty grown.
Okay. Then
He's
then,
like
then yeah.
middle age for now.
Then yeah. I mean, you are a small fox in that form. I mean, you're not very large, so you're
I am small.
technically yes.
It's more-
I would say he could do
I
that.
have a failsafe. Hrim can just carry me over the water.
All right, so
Until Harim
oh.
gets tired and drops you.
Or
so
We don't
as
all right.
as Oak, you are being brought down below onto the lower deck uh, and taken into where basically the rooms, so to speak, are. They're really not rooms, you guys. They've hammocks strung up along one side. There's not really much of a separation there for sleeping area, just due to the ship isn't very large and can't really support having individual quarters. And so they kind of lay you down in one of the hammocks, and then Lucius goes over
Can
to a
Oak
barrel.
somehow roll out of the hammock?
Absolutely. You roll out and you land face first on the deck.
Sweet. That's how he likes to. That's how Oak likes to be.
Sweet
Okay.
face
And
down.
while you are
Blanchard in wood.
while you are face down, Lucius disappears for a moment or two, and then, hold on a second. Oh, excuse me. All right, sorry about that. Lucius
Everybody sees
disappears
you.
for a moment or two, and then comes back, and he has a small handful of leaves that he quickly kind of crushes up and kind of mushes together into like a little ball, and he basically shoves it into your mouth in your cheek, and he says, "Don't swallow it, just chew." And as you are chewing on that, uh, very slowly the queasiness uh, starts to to subside a little bit.
But
Okay.
And I'm sending you a message. Okay.
What'd you give him?
Well, are you down there or are you inside Jacob's robes? Have you guys gotten down there
Oh,
yet?
I'm not. Sorry, I'm asking my fiance.
Oh.
Because he tossed something to the dog and I don't know what he tossed. Oh, okay.
All right. So, the rest of you, Jacob, have you, Hrim, and the snuggled Diana managed to make your way down?
I mean, yeah. Frem will actually kind of land on the captain's shoulder and stay above.
Okay.
No, what if he just gusted away? Oh,
He
wait,
just
you can just resummon him.
The
Never mind.
the captain kind of makes a start for a second when this snowy white owl just plops right onto the shoulder of his studded leather armor. And then taken aback for a moment, then he just starts laughing. And then he's like, "This'll be interesting."
the Frem will just
All right.
He's trying to
As
hide it again, babe.
as you are sitting there uh, underneath the deck, and Rhea, I assume you are still above deck.
Yep.
Okay. Um, so the rest of you are below decks, and the rocking of the ship starts getting worse and worse, and you start to hear the wind picking up, the sky getting even darker, and now, slowly but surely, the pat of raindrops as they begin to start falling.
As it starts to get a bit more rocky on the ship, can Oak just start like, rolling from one side of the room to the other?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're just kind of rolling back and forth as the ship is rocking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello!
Now, And this continues for.
There's other things you can do.
Okay.
Oh, I know what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. I had to stop and restart the stream because sure enough, it did exactly what it did last time, except it
Mm.
decided to do it early on. And I hope it didn't just do it again. Gosh darn it. Let's see here.
Odd.
Alright, let's see if it works this
I
time.
heard a Yoshi.
That was Nick's phone.
Ring.
No, you're fine. Oh, this is going to be a very interesting turn of events if all of this works.
Yeah.
Oh, Diana's going to have so much anxiety while doing all of this.
There's only like a few things I can do. I gotta think. Is this safe?
Come on. I am not happy with the hotel internet and the computer at this point in time.
Mm.
Alright. Anyway, we'll continue on. I'll keep trying to fix this as we go. Alright, so. You. What was Rim's movement again?
Rim can move, sorry. He's gonna go to the guy if he can. He's got 60 flying speed.
Okay. So, yeah, he can definitely get there. I mean, he's sitting on the captain's shoulder and currently, and he is definitely within 60 feet. If you look at the rulers, you can kind of measure it out. I mean, he's 40 feet away.
Yeah. Right, yeah. So he will, touch the guy, preferably towards the side where closer to the shark and Aquarian guy.
Okay, so like trying to drag him over here.
No, he's trying to get into this space to where he's next to the guy.
Okay.
And he's going to look towards the ship, and with it and on him, he's going to cast Thunderstep.
Okay. Hold on a sec. Oh, I see what you were asking now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now.
It's A-okay if you can't.
Yeah, that you can't really do.
Yeah.
But you can use that spell by looking through his eyes to move you.
Oh, that's right. Well then, holding on to Diana
We are not getting in the water!
onto the top of the ship.
No, getting in the water is Oak's job, so you're fine.
He's going. No, well, Jacob's going to move about 10. Well, then Hrim's going to stay on the captain's shoulder if that's the case.
Okay.
Jacob, because he's smarter.
Okay, so was that answer to me or to Jacob?
Excuse me.
About which in
About-
specific?
When you said, oh, I see what you were asking now.
Jacob.
Okay.
So, in that case,
I hadn't
would-
seen your note yet because I'm trying to make sure that this is fixed properly. So I'm kind of working on that at the same time.
So with Hrim still on the captain's shoulders, if you're okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
Jacob's going to move underneath the deck. He's going to move 10 feet away from Galder, or at over away if he can, which I'm sure is possible.
Yes.
And then he's going to cast Thunderstep and put himself. Goodness, let me What?
Well, now she gets to know what it feels like to teleport.
We.
She does
To
not
here.
like it. It makes her dizzy.
And he is now like hand grabs the side of the railing, like on the boat, just kind of okay, all right. Oh, I think this is the right spot. And looking through him, kind of floating up a little bit and seeing big boy shark. Yeah, all right.
Alright. Let's see if I can get
So,
this.
I'm gonna wait for your answer first before.
Okay, just give me 1 second here, because I want this to be set. Alright, and then this to that. And then you. This. Alright, this is going to be interesting. Okay. And here you. Sorry about this. It's taking a moment. But it will be worth it. So I can get rid of that. And back to this. Come on, screen. Work for me already. Alright, and now I can add this. If it'll let me.
Ooh. This could be very bad
No,
or very good.
no,
Depending on what happens.
you will actually like this. You will like this a lot. Once I get it to work.
Am I getting a
Stupid
marker?
hotel internet. Ah, come on. Everything's going so slow right now.
Also, with the movement, you hear a very loud, audible, just thunder, crack of thunder. And
Man,
it
it's going
subsides by the
slow.
time they make it to the next part.
Ray,
Okay,
as soon
there
as
we
you
go.
appear, Ray is gonna just say about time.
Okay.
And we will work on some of that later. So that gets there, so. To there.
I heard another Yoshi.
Just Yoshi going crazy.
What's awesome is her shifting isn't considered an action.
Nope.
So she can shift
Cool.
back with.
So we can get this darn thing to work. Alright.
Oh,
Okay.
this is gonna be fun.
So it is now Diana's turn.
So, I really hope this works. And she is going to do hold person on the shark. The really, really, really big shark.
Okay. So let's see here.
It is a save of
Wisdom, which is a 13. No. Yes?
Now, real
whatever your
real
save
yeah,
is.
now real quick. Okay. Your character would know this. Hold person specifically says choose a
Oh,
humanoid.
humanoid.
Yep.
Okay.
Fun thing.
Then, I guess she's using hail?
Okay.
Third level spell slot,
All right. So,
which is a 3d6.
okay. So, is it a save, I believe, for probably a dex save on that one.
Yeah. Which means it's probably not gonna hit him. Well, no. Fuck.
It's still going to do damage. I'm pretty sure of that. Let me just double check since this is
Then for that
a
sense,
custom spell. So
Mm,
open up your character sheet here and look at that spell just so I can verify exactly what it's doing.
Because it says, I create a 20-foot line. On a failed save, a creature takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone.
Yes. And then it
And
should
then
be
the terrain becomes difficult.
right. And for it should have for higher levels, like every
Yeah, for every spell slot, second level or higher, the damage increases by 1d6 for each level.
Yep.
So
Okay.
using at a third level, it would still be a 3d6.
Yeah. Yep. So, and that is a dex save. Dex save 13. And 13 on the nose. So, pass the save, so it's not knocked prone, but it can't really be knocked prone anyway. But it does get bludgeoned by a whole bunch of basically balls of concentrated ice flying forth from you as if you are the source of a hailstorm, slamming into it for 11 points of damage. Okay.
And then
that's your action.
I'm still getting used to this. Bear with me.
No problem. You're doing fine.
And you know what? Fuck it. I'll do a second level Dragon's Breath as a
Okay.
bonus.
Now that you cannot do. You can.
Why?
You can only cast. One leveled spell in a round.
But it's literally a bonus action.
Right, but if you cast a leveled spell as your action, then you can cast, if it's a bonus action, a cantrip. However, if you have a spell that is a bonus action and is leveled, you can cast that.
Yeah,
And
that's
if you
what
want
I'm
to,
saying.
hold on. And then if you did that first, then you could use your action to cast a cantrip. You can't cast anything higher than one cantrip and one leveled spell, unless you are hasted, which gives you another action. In which case, then you could actually, I would allow you to do 2 leveled spells.
What? I can do 2 leveled spells?
Oh no, that's right. You're doing cantrips. That's right. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Firebolt's still a cantrip.
Firebolt's still a cantrip. Yep. So you
Fucking broken cantrip.
But yeah. So basically, you have a
So why
cantrip.
does it offer it as a?
Because what that means is that you can cast that spell as a bonus action and still do something else with that requires a full action. But you couldn't use it to cast a leveled spell. You could use it to do like a melee attack or some kind of ranged weapon attack. To use it to use the dash action to run the heck away, or to disengage, or to do something else. But it's basically saying spells that are bonus actions are there so that you can reserve using your actual action for something else other than casting a spell.
This is why I hate using magic, and I always played as a rogue.
It just takes time getting used to. It's the
Technically
rules are
speaking,
confusing.
since it's right in front of me, can she use her claws?
Absolutely.
Okay, and would it be 2 of them? Because
let's see. Your
or
claws,
would it just be 1?
actions. Your claws.
Because it says
bonus actions. Yep, you get to use your claws. Basically, it's both claws are 1 attack. So you're rolling your attack and then doing damage.
And it's a 1d6 plus my strength modifier.
That's
okay. Which I don't have one anyway, so.
So you just roll a straight 1d20. Well, you got to roll the 20 first to see if you hit.
Oh, my bad.
But hey, if you do, you're doing 5 damage. And that hits. as you tear out a small chunk of this thing's kind of rubbery but armored hide away from its body.
She's gonna gag. She's gonna gag.
Okay.
She normally doesn't use her claws, so she's gonna end up gagging.
Okay.
Because she's
And-
just trying to keep it from going away from the boat.
all right,
Your turn, Jacob. Good luck.
Yep, that is your turn. It is Jacob's turn, and let's see what you do.
All right. So, Jacob, hanging for now tied, is going to go on to the other side of the boat
It's kind of hang there.
by the shark.
Oh, like you're going
Uh,
over the railing?
Yes, over the
Oh,
railing.
okay.
He's gonna, as he kind of does that, he's like, okay, and he's gonna pull out this amber rod and is going to focus on it and clap his hands together, and a owl head appears underneath. I'm going to use friend's token about where it's going to be.
Okay.
An owl head appears here, and from this line, a line of lightning connects between Jacob and this owl head as he casts his line of lightning.
Okay, so basically like right through like that.
Yep. So
Okay.
the shark, the person,
Everything in
and
the water.
Brooke's gotta make a dexterity saving throw of 15.
Okay. So go ahead,
Sorry.
Oak, you make your save. And you said dex
No,
of
Oak is fine.
dex of 15.
Cool, he's good.
Because,
it's alright.
lightning in water
Dex of
does
15.
ripple effect.
Yep.
And I was
so
going to
that's
leave the
success.
area of effect up to you.
Yeah, and I'm taking care of it. So that's 2 successes,
I should have given you
All good.
1 failure. I need to move you. Get over that way.
I wish I could use cutting
Fail.
words for saves, but I can't.
Fail. Okay, so
I'd like to imagine that Galder is just sitting below deck reading a magazine.
Alright.
What's happening?
so you did 2d8 damage.
Yep.
All right, so 4 damage. So
Oak, you only
This-
take 2.
Yes.
this guy here did not do well.
Oh. Did I kill the poor sailor off the boat?
You're about to find out.
Oh no. It's not my fault.
Oh, you did area of effect for around the entire boat.
And he passed his save. So it definitely hurt. Yeah, I allowed it to go throughout the entire area. He
Holy.
passed his save. He is not happy, but he's still there. However, you did manage to piss off some sharks, but that's about all
Any
you
other
did to them.
local wildlife that we
We'll just have to wait and see.
can
That
Please don't
guy
do this.
passed, and this guy did not. Okay.
I'm
and
only
then
killing everyone. It's okay.
This poor guy, he passed, thankfully for him, and so did this dude. All right. So there's everybody there. So now, Captain